and welcome to Cooking with Vincent. Today we're going to be showing you how to assemble or prepare a lasagna, and it's going to be a big one because we have an entire family gathering today and we need to feed everyone. So this will be the size. It's a full hotel pan deep. We cook big, so we're going to be using, I'll just give you the rundown of the ingredients. First, I want to get out of the way. I probably should have done all of this videoing YouTube live because we've been pretty much round the clock cooking. We're actually preparing for Easter dinner here. And if you've watched any of our other videos that we've released recently, you'll see that my shirt hasn't changed. And that's all because we've done a meatball tutorial. We've done a tomato sauce or gravy tutorial or how-to. We're now doing the lasagna portion of the meal. We're going to assemble, and I've been wearing the same Mickey shirt the whole time. So it's not like I wear this shirt every day. It's just because we've broken this up to make it easier for you to get all your information if need be. But I should have done a whole marathon of cooking and did it live. But it would have been pretty cool. What do you think?
I agree.
You agree? We should have did it live. She agrees. So let's just go over some of the ingredients we're going to need for our lasagna. First, we're going to need ricotta, or as we call it, ricotta. For that hotel pan, we're going to need about 6 pounds, and we're using Calabro. It's a really great brand. Also, we're going to need some mozzarella, or as we call it, mozzarella. And we're using whole logs. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but we have 3 whole logs here. Each log is about 1 pound, so it'll be 3 pounds of mozzarella. We're going to need black pepper. We're going to need salt. We're going to need fresh ground pecorino romano. The brand that we use is Lugedel or Locatelli, depending on where you're from. We're going to need some eggs, and we're going to need some parsley. Also, we're going to need lasagna sheets, and we'll show you ours in a minute. We'll be back. We're going to get these unwrapped, so we're ready to mix. See you in a sec. First, we're going to put our ricotta in a mixing bowl because we have to prepare the ricotta mixture. We want to get all of it out of the container. So we're using our little spatula. This is South Philadelphia Tupperware. In case anybody wants to know what that is, hit us down in the comment section below. We'll explain it to you. Ricotta is very versatile. I mean, you're making a lasagna, which is savory, pretty much, but it's used in all types of Italian cooking. I mean, if you add some sugar to ricotta, you can make ricotta cookies. You can make cannolis. Right? I mean, there's all types of things. Very versatile, used widely throughout Italian cooking. Pretty awesome. I mean, whoever heard of using cheddar cheese, for instance? You could put it on a cheeseburger, but would you make a dessert out of it? That's the question. I don't think you would. So once your ricotta is in the mixing bowl, it's a nice amount. We're going to want to add some fresh chopped parsley, and we're going to want a pretty fine chop. From my guesstimation, we're looking at about 3 tablespoons of finely chopped parsley. You want to get it all in there, and pretty much we're judging by eye. We're going to want to salt the ricotta mixture. We're using kosher salt. If you're not using iodized, sometimes the kosher salt's not as strong, so you could get away with putting more. You're going to want to make sure stuff is seasoned and salted well. Now we got to put in some black pepper. This is a little bit coarse for my liking, but this is what we have, so this is what we use. And we want to just, boom, just maybe a half a tablespoon. I'm trying to get better with the quantities, people. Trying to help. Next thing we want to do is we want to crack some eggs in here. Rule of thumb in our family is 1.5 eggs per 2 pound container of ricotta. So we have 6 here. That would be 4.5 eggs. What you could do is, if you wanted, for that last egg, you could separate the yolk from the white, discard the white, and just use the yolk. The other thing is that as you add your eggs, you're going to want to mix up the mixture. Sometimes the water content of the ricotta is higher or lower. Sometimes it's thicker. It could use the extra moisture. You're going to want to mix your eggs in and then judge. You might need to add another egg, but you want to add in a couple at a time because you don't want it too loose. You'll have a running lasagna. I like my lasagna when you cut it and pull it out of the pan and put it on the plate. I like it to stand straight up like a skyscraper. So we're gonna crack in. We're gonna start out by cracking in 4 eggs. I'm gonna try to keep all the shells out of there. Do our best. I'm not a fancy guy where I could crack with one hand and do all that. I'm just not that good. Okay, so we have 4 eggs in there. And we're going to want to mix this around. We're going to see how it loosens up. You get your spatula. I like to see green mixed throughout. And the parsley adds a nice fresh flavor to the lasagna as well. I think we could use one more. It still feels kind of stiff. So we're going to add a 5th egg in. The only way I know that though is because I mixed the mixture and it feels kind of stiff. It's fighting me a little bit still. So we're going to crack one more egg in. Oh boy. What are we going to do? Pull it right out. No big deal. We didn't ruin Easter dinner. Crack that egg up. Mix it well. Oh, that feels good. Not too loose, not too tight, just right. Baby Bear would be very happy. Now we have to add our fresh ground pecorino romano. This is all by judgment. This is all by judgment. This is just, you know, you want a good flavor in there. You want to give the ricotta a little body. I would say right there is about a 1/2 cup. That's about a 3/4 cup. About a cup of pecorino romano. So that's about like $19 worth. We're going to stir that in. And that might tighten up your mixture as well. So once you stir in the romano, you might want to add one more egg. It smells good. Now, if you want, you can taste this, get a little spoon and taste the mixture ahead, but you have to be careful because you're not really, unless you're Rocky Balboa, you shouldn't be eating raw eggs. At least that's what they tell us. But I have a brave soul who's not afraid to meet my friend Sal Manila, and she's gonna try the mixture and let us know what she thinks. Too much? Good?
Perfect.
All right, let me know how it tastes. Does it need anything?
Delicious.
Does it need anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Salted enough?
Delicious, yes.
Okay, good. Now, the one part that I missed that I did not tell you you're going to need is you're going to need some type of tomato-based, unless you're making like a bechamel type lasagna that doesn't have a red gravy, and quite frankly, I've never made that and don't know how to. You're going to need either some type of red gravy or sauce to assemble your lasagna as well. So what you want to do to start off is you want to coat the bottom of your pan with a layer of tomato gravy. Okay, we have a pot here that we've already prepared. If you want to come over here and take a look at it so the viewers can see it, we have a pot here we've already prepared. and it's at standing temperature, so it's warm. It's not too hot. We don't want it too hot when we're assembling because we don't want it to make the cheese separate. I prefer, you could use hot sauce. I prefer to use something that's either lukewarm or even cold. We grab our ladle, mix it around. Have to move the meat out of the way because we have meat. And we're just going to put enough. We're trying not to make a mess. Of course, we always do. Okay, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Not too much. Just enough to put some liquid at the bottom of the pan. All right. Now, we're fortunate enough to have a local pasta maker. Well, it's not local to us, but it's local to my brother, and he was nice enough to go to the pasta maker and pick up lasagna sheets. They're full sheets. I'm going to show them to you in a second. But basically what they are, is if you have a pasta maker where you're at, wherever it is, what they'll do is they'll take these sheets and then to cut the different, and I'll open it up, but to make the different cuts of pasta, they'll take these sheets and run them through a machine that cuts either spaghetti, fettuccine, linguine. It cuts it into size. What they do is they sell us these sheets whole so we can assemble lasagnas with them. Pretty cool. So basically, we open it up, and I'll let you guys take a look. Doesn't matter if a little parsley gets on there, but they're just whole pasta sheets. Okay? Pretty cool, right? And then instead of playing around with like all different noodles or pasta, all we do is we set it in there. We set it in there. Real nice. And once we're spreading out our ricotta, we don't have to worry about all the pasta sheets moving all over. My OCD drives me insane when I have a sheet that moves one side and then the other side. It drives me nuts. All we want to do is we lay down our pasta, and then we're going to spread out our ricotta. I hate to be like this, but the metal spoon works best for this. You want just a nice thin layer. Okay, so as you can see, our first layer is down. What we're going to want to do with this layer is we're going to add a little gravy to this as well. So just a little bit, just to add some moisture and flavor. You're going to put maybe one ladle. I like my lasagna stiff. 2 ladles. Once that's down, we'll take our spoon and we're gonna move it around just to the point where we're almost turning pink. Next step, we're going to want to put some mozzarella or mozzarella. Of course, it doesn't work out for me. We have fresh logs of mozzarella. You can either cut it down in thin slices, or if you want, you could come back across and chop this up and make it into long strands. Sometimes it will go, if you're a little short on mozzarella, cutting it into strands helps it go a little bit further. Just an FYI. If you're starting to run out, let's just say you didn't judge well in the beginning, you could always, for the last layers, make strands and then spread it out a little bit further if need be. I think we're going to be okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our mozzarella. We're going to just situate it. In the pan. We want it everywhere. We want the average bite to have a piece of mozzarella. You're just going to situate it throughout. Your little spaces, just break it up possibly, and then fit it in. As you can see, the 1 pound logs work pretty well, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Now, we're ready for our next sheet of lasagna. What we do, pick up a sheet. We put it in. And then we're going to put our lasagna, we're going to put our ricotta mixture in. We'll start to spread it out. And I'm going to get this spread out. I'll be back with you in 1 second. Okay, so our center layer is all spread out. And what we're going to do different with the center layer than the bottom layer is we're not going to add any sauce to this layer. This is going to allow the lasagna to stay stiff enough to stand up, and it will help it to not be runny. The moisture will draw up from the bottom and draw from the top. So we're going to lay down our ricotta, and then on this layer we're just going to put our mozzarella again. And I know what a lot of people are saying out there. Wow, this looks simple. And it is pretty simple. Really is just a matter of using good ingredients. The better the ingredients that you put in, the better the finished product will be. So what do you out there in YouTube world, what do you traditionally cook for Easter dinner? We want to know. Leave it down in the comment section below what you're preparing for your Easter dinner. If you're really ambitious, what you'll do is you'll make a video. That would be awesome. And post it down in the comment section below. We want to see what you're eating for Easter dinner. If you don't celebrate Easter, maybe, whatever holiday you're celebrating, you have some type of tradition you want to share, we'd love to hear about it. Put it down in the comment section. We want to see it. So we're done with the middle layer. Time to move on to the top layer, I suppose. I'm gonna lay down our lasagna sheet. And same thing again. We're gonna spread out our ricotta. This brings me back to my concrete finishing days. Okay, this layer, we want to add some more sauce. Just a little bit. This nice amount of tomato. Ooh, but a bay leaf. It may be good luck, but it would be bad luck if somebody chokes. So we're going to get rid of that. Let's move that around. Stay where you're at. I need to judge. We want just pink, not too much sauce because we don't want a runny lasagna.
A big pot of gravy.
Okay. So center layer you skip sauce. This layer you want sauce. And now we have to cut our mozzarella. And then we'll once I have this cut, we'll come back. I'll show you how we finish off the last layer. All right, so we're ready for mozzarella on the next to the top. I guess this is the top layer, and then we'll finish it off with one last sheet. So just to show you guys what I was talking about earlier, if you do run short of mozzarella, all you have to do is cut it up and then spread it out a little thinner. No big deal. Just, you know, it seems to go a little bit longer when you cut it into strips like this. Perfect. Now we're going to get our last sheet. We're going to put it on top.
That's one beautiful lasagna.
Yeah, that's the sheets. The sheets make it beautiful. Okay, then all we're going to do piece of sausage broke. Put some sauce on top. Come back over. Spread it out. Might need a drop more. We don't want it too watery though. Okay, then we're just going to spread our remaining mozzarella over the top. Move it around if you need. This way it's evenly dispersed. Okay, and then one last final touch. Pick straight from my garden. Get it? My garden? Pretty funny. We're going to chiffon on some basil. Once again, you're just going to judge by eye. I thought there was enough leaves. Let's see how we did. And all chiffonading means is to cut into ribbons. So you roll up the basil and then cut it into strips. We're going to put some nice fresh basil on top. Try to spread it evenly as possible. If you got to pick some up and move it around, you could do that. I'm about to do that. Done. Done. That's about it. You could put a little grated cheese on top if you'd like. I prefer not to. You could always add the cheese.
Sorry.
You could always add the cheese after. That's what I prefer to do. What we're going to do is we're going to lid this. You don't need to follow me. We're going to lid it. Okay, and then this will go in the oven at 350. This is pretty hefty, so you're probably looking at about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get it nice and hot all the way in the middle. And the best way to test will be to take a knife, stick it in the middle, pull it out, and then feel it with your finger. If it's hot in the middle and you burn yourself, it's done. So we're going to pop this in the oven, okay? And when it's ready, we'll come back to you. All right, as you can see, our oven is preheated, 350 degrees. I had no choice but to shower and get changed because we have company. So I have instead of my Mickey shirt, now I have my Mickey apron. So we're going to open up the oven door, and we're going to try not to drop this massive lasagna. We're going to place it in the oven, midway. Close the door. Hopefully it didn't get too much inside the oven because it's a little dirty from doing the peppers. And cook time right now be about 2 hours because the lasagna is at room temperature. It's not overly cold right now. It's been sitting resting. So 2 hours. We'll see you then. Are you rolling?
Yeah.
So just like at any holiday, and when you expect the best, you could pretty much hope. Well, how's it go? When you hope for the best, you could expect the worst. The power went out. So because I love you guys so much, we ran the cords and kept everything going. I love the family so much. The show must go on. So it's been about 2 hours. Our lasagna's been in the oven. It's ready to come out. We want to just test it and make sure it's hot all the way through.
Ow!
What are you doing?
I'm videotaping.
And the lights are out
And the lights are out.
in the house. That's why you can't see what's going on. So, ooh, that looks good, right?
Yummy.
Now all we want to do is just test the center, make sure it's hot.
One is roasted. This is a little one. All right, there you go. Thank you.
It's warm in the middle. I always ask I ask for help from the big boss. Mom, what do you think? If it's warm in the middle, should it go back in for a little bit?
Yes.
Go back in. Okay, we're gonna put it back in.
How does the cheese look?
The cheese looks nice and melted.
Okay.
What do you think? Put it back in. Let the. Should we put lid off? What do you think?
Yeah.
Lid off. We're gonna go lid off.
Short
We'll put it in.
time.
We're checking in a half an hour. We'll come back to you.
Not even a hand.
Back. The power's still out. It's been exactly 20 minutes. I couldn't tell from my wall clock because that thing's out too. So I had to check my phone. 20 minutes exactly. Let's get this thing out of the oven and see how it is.
But I still eat them because I like them. It's not that they're even hot. It's just that they for some reason chew. It's not even that bothered my head.
Take a look.
I don't know why.
Let's look.
And the skin's off.
Ooh, that's hot.
Good now?
No,
Okay.
I think it really actually needs about 15 minutes.
Really? How's it look though? Not too brown?
No, not too brown.
It's because the oven got messed
Yeah.
up.
It looks
That's what
nice.
it was.
Yeah, we had a little downtime while I was setting up the generator. No joke, people. No joke.
Remember, you're taking the computer.
I'll take it. I said
That's on.
All right, so finally, we think this baby's done.
we can make another.
The sun's going down. Power's still out, but we're gonna get it out of the oven. The lasagna's still gonna be delicious, so it don't really matter. It's all about the company and the food.
And here's all the
She
cheese.
delivered.
Never had
Okay.
any problem with
Anything
anything,
the older
like
one.
adhesions or any infections. So that part was
That
good.
was good.
Yeah, it was all.
But when I had her,
Where are you going to get the
Now it's done.
Now it's done.
They did.
Check the middle.
I said she feels for some. Oh no, she's fine. I'm like, I really think I need to check.
Perfect.
Perfect.
No, 'cause I think someone here.
If you like this video, and I think it's funny, because I sure do, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. If you dislike this video, obviously you have no empathy or compassion for everything that we went through here today. Guess what? We won't want you as a subscriber anyway. So go ahead and dislike it and leave a comment why you dislike this video. And as always, thanks a lot and have a great day.